Hey everybody, it's John Hope Bryan. I'm live from Atlanta, Georgia, from my home office. It's me and my man Bishop here. I am the chairman and chief executive officer and founder of Operation Hope, the first ever nonprofit financial services network for the poor, the underserved, and the working class, and the struggling class, folks with too much month at the end of their money. Our color is not white, black, red, brown, or yellow. It's the color of green, as in U.S. currency. And I think that the civil rights movement was waged and won in the streets. I think that the civil rights movement will be waged and won in the suites. I want to get us in the suites. I'm the author of How the Poor Can Save Capitalism, Rebuilding the Path of the Middle Class, the Solution for the 100%. It's a book that only 2 African Americans can claim authorship of a bestseller in economics in the world. It's been translated into 5 languages. I encourage you to read it. But most importantly, the founder of Operation Hope, 2 million clients, $2.5 billion invested through our community. So in other words, I'm not just talking, I'm walking. It's not just about being a PhD, but a PhD too. I'm not a PhD, by the way. I have an honorary PhD. But just claiming and framing the discussion. I want to apologize in advance. My friend Bo Young encouraged me to talk to all entrepreneurs, Latino entrepreneurs and Asian entrepreneurs and white entrepreneurs and all, not just black entrepreneurs. I apologize. I will do that in time. In fact, I need your permission. I need you to help me because I'm going to do within the next week a video just on my white brothers in rural America, white brothers and sisters in rural. I'm going to do just a video for white rural America and this whole Donald Trump factor because they are being played and pimped because of their economic pain, and I understand their frustration. I don't know if you know this, there's more poor whites in America than poor anybody else. And so people are playing on our fears and playing on our insecurities and not giving us solutions. But that's another topic for another time. Give me permission to talk about that another time. This series will ultimately be about everybody, but I'm doing bite-sized messages when I think that it's important. And I do think that this message needs to be focused on the African American community. So my white brothers and sisters and others, please forgive me. If you're watching from another part of the world, just please forgive me. Maybe pass this message on to somebody that fits the profile that you love and you think is appropriate. I'm not excluding anybody. I'm focusing. So here's the message. Black entrepreneurship probably is the only thing that can solve the community's problems. It's a pretty bold statement. I'm going to go one step further and say I'll be in the Middle East in a month. Entrepreneurship in the Middle East is probably the only thing that can solve the problem in the Middle East. You know, in Saudi Arabia, where I'll be, we have an office there, 60% of the population of Saudi Arabia, Saudi they call it, is under the age of 25. So frustrated, internet connected, college educated, and upset with no job. Do you know that the MENA region, Middle East and North Africa, will need 100 million jobs by 2020 for a population that's going to be 60% under the age of 25? That's just a national security threat because they're not going to get the jobs from the government. And corporate world out there don't have the jobs. And the number 1 recruiting tool for ISIS, no jobs. Number 1 recruiting tool, this is statistically verifiable for ISIS, not Islamic extremism, not religion, not all this other crap. It's unemployed youth in the Middle East. So let's deal with our communities. I'm speaking at the Black Enterprise Entrepreneurship Entrepreneurs Summit in Miami, Florida later this week. Having a conversation with Derek Dingle, who's a good friend of mine and their managing editor. I think it's his title. He's a baller, basically. Black Enterprise, which is basically the Black Wall Street Journal for the black community. Black Enterprise magazine. If you're not a subscriber, you should be. They're having this great entrepreneurship conference. I'm speaking there Wednesday. I encourage you to go to their website at blackenterprise.com, register, tell them I sent you. I will be there in person. I'll also be broadcasting from there. So I wanted to really wrap this around that message, that even if you don't like entrepreneurship or you don't think you can be an entrepreneur, this is good for you. Because if you're running a household and you've got too much month at the end of your money, you need to be entrepreneurial. You're running a department in a government office or a nonprofit, you need to be entrepreneurial. over it, around it, or through it. You got to get to it. You got to have a positive mentality. You have to have a solutions-oriented mentality. You have to reimagine everything, be creative. But let me be very, very practical about this. In our neighborhoods, a lot of our cats, a lot of young men, black men, have for a range of reasons, some legitimate, some illegitimate, a criminal record. If you have a criminal record, IBM's not going to hire you. And it's not racism. They have a policy that if you're a felon, they can't hire you, maybe at least for not some of the upper echelon positions. But you can create your own IBM. So the guy who makes my suits, Ryan Taylor, Drove Clothing, young black entrepreneur, came to me with an idea, wanted to be a clothier, wanted to go work, be a designer. I said, folks are not going to hire you. It's not racism. They just don't know you. They don't have a relationship with you. But why not create your own business? And he did that. He's doing $1 million a year. Drove Clothing. Check it out for yourself. He makes all my suits. You see me wearing a suit, black entrepreneur made them. There's another brother in Detroit where makes T-shirts and has made a whole business on T-shirts and then gives black people scholarships there in Detroit. But if you let me be very pointed. If you see drug dealers in our neighborhood, now drug dealing is immoral. Yeah, I said it. Unethical. Yeah, I said it. If you're selling drugs in our neighborhood, you're selling death to your own community. Yes, I said it. I'm not judging you. It is and is, right? It's illegal. It's immoral. It's unethical. It's not cool. But if you are a drug dealer and a successful one, it's a bit of an oxymoron, a successful drug dealer, one thing you are not is dumb. In fact, you're probably brilliant. Basically, a drug dealer in our neighborhood is an illegal entrepreneur. They understand import, export, finance, marketing, wholesale, retail, customer service, security, territory, and logistics. You're not talking about a dumb cat. You're talking about a brilliant cat, a brilliant young man or young woman, unfortunately, sometimes, who have bad role models, a bad environment, bad soil, a bad business plan. It's bad capitalism, but they're not dumb. So you have basically an illegal entrepreneur on your hands here who, if they had the right soil, the right environment, could become the next Steve Jobs. And if you want to solve problems in Ferguson, Missouri, create jobs. You want to solve problems in the south side of Detroit, or south side of Chicago, wherever you live, you've got problems, it's economic based. People have no jobs. But when you can't get a job, create a job for yourself. And it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to go do a high-tech startup, right? Do you know how much a plumber makes? You can be a small business owner and have a plumbing business and make 6 figures. Or an electrician and make 6 figures. Brother named Eric came and started a mobile notary service, came and signed the documents with me. I was like naive and said, hey man, how much do you make with a mobile notary service? Are you doing this like part-time? You're a teacher, do this part-time? He said, no, I do it full-time. This is in my book, by the way, How the Poor Can Save Capitalism. And he said, I do it full-time. Well, how much do you make? And, after pushing him a lot, he said, I do $17,000 a month. He makes $17,000 a month, honestly, legally, with a mobile notary service. A $36 notary stamp from the city of Atlanta and a lot of hustle. So I'm going to take some questions because I could riff on entrepreneurship all day and all night. I am an entrepreneur. I have created something from nothing, came from South Central LA in Compton, California, did not want to work for somebody else. Mother told me she loved me, a sense of yes, I am. Dad gave me a sense of yes, I can. He was a small business owner. Banker came in my classroom, taught me financial literacy when I was 9 years old, gave me the tools for free enterprise and capitalism. Started my first business when I was 9 years old, neighborhood candy house, put the liquor store out of the candy business, boom. I was so focused on my own optimism, my own plan. I wasn't focusing on all the drama in my life in Compton. I got out, a lot of my friends didn't, because I was focused on my vision. So if you want to change your community, if you don't just tell your kid to go get a job, tell your kids to go create a job. Don't just tell them to go to K through 12, go to college, get a bunch of student loan debt, which they cannot pay back, and then find out they can't get a job because government and big companies really aren't hiring. But they can create a job. Emory University here in Atlanta. Where'd that come from? It came from Coca-Cola, which put up $1 million 100 years ago to move Emory University to Atlanta. Well, Coca-Cola was created by an entrepreneur. Where'd the Ford Foundation come from? Came from Henry Ford. What was Henry Ford? An entrepreneur. Where'd the Rockefeller Foundation come from? Came from Nelson Rockefeller, an entrepreneur. Where did Walmart come from? Came from Sam Walton, who had a storefront and a pickup truck. Started with nothing, now the largest retailer in the world. Every big company was once a small one, but we're not doing that in the black community, right? And you may not be able to get a job because you got credit score issues, they will run your credit, or because you have a public record. But even when you cannot get a job, you can create a job for yourself. And there are tons of needs in our communities that you could fulfill legally. Okay, let me go to some of the questions here. Ebony says yes. Bridget says fill a need. Annette Holmes, $17,000 a month. Believe it, exactly. That's the young man Eric who had the notary business. Create a job for yourself, Ava. Exactly. And by the way, why don't we vote? You don't vote if you don't have a stake in the system. If you don't have a stake, you're not a stakeholder. You have no inclination to vote. You're not an owner. You don't own a home. You don't own a business. You don't own yourself. Then you're not inclined to vote. And then the races that you're so concerned about get you, because now they get you off the playing field of life. They get you to not participate, and now they can laugh at you as you're laughing at yourself, or you're laughing at them, but you're really being laughed at because you're not taking your life back. So we have natural hustle in our community. We've been doing so much with so long, with so little. We can almost do anything with nothing. We have enormous talents. We're not focusing them. And what we need to do. So when I was growing up in Compton, right before the Rodney King riots, people were getting upset with the Korean merchants who were coming from Korea, taking $40,000, starting a little liquor store or some little shop, little nail salon, whatever, and hiring their own. And we were getting upset with them. My thing is, why are you getting upset with them? They didn't demand. They didn't it wasn't illegal for them to buy. They came and bought the same property you could have bought for nothing. Started the same business you could have started, right? And they started a little shop. They hired their own. Don't be mad at them for doing that. And now they're building something in your neighborhood. Do you know all these weave shops that we spend hundreds of millions of dollars on weave? Do you know they're owned by Koreans? Don't be mad at the Koreans. Why aren't you doing it? I mean, the nail salons, the weave shops, the hair, the billion-dollar hair care business, the restaurant business, all these hotels we stay in. Now, why aren't we owning these enterprises, and why aren't we focusing not on being the show? I'm going to do a whole thing about why black folks can't be the show anymore, and owning the show. All right, take some questions. I'm going to wrap this up. So a lot of engagement. Do a lot of these questions offline. Sarah Shajua, I hope I said that right. She says, I'm one of the 1.4% of black farmers in the U.S. Wow. Love that. By the way, number one group of black starting businesses are women. So I don't know if you knew that statistic. By the way, number one group of HBCU students are women, black women. Brothers, we need to get on our game. Show me the money, okay? Black people talk a lot. Okay, I'm not sure right now what's your point. You can go to operationhope.org and get 700 credit score services, entrepreneurship service, small business services for free. So if you're saying, show me how to do it, I just did. But it's your responsibility to go do it. I'm not going to do it for you. Nobody's going to do it for you. You got to go do it for yourself. That's the way life is, right? So I'm not sure that's what you meant, but if you're talking about I'm talking a lot, then you can just sign off. You don't need to listen to me. If you're talking about something else, then just go to Operation Hope and stop talking and get busy, all right? And if I misinterpreted you, I apologize. Mark Love, hey, John, I'm back from Chicago. Great. Latoya Martin, I'm right. Thank you very much for that. Please broadcast on Periscope simultaneously. Facebook Live keeps shutting down. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do on Periscope simultaneously. We may push this out. We push this out to YouTube, by the way. So anything you miss here, you can catch on YouTube later, or this is actually domiciled here as well. But I don't only have so much time. Sorry. Florida Little, so glad to catch you live. I'm glad to be with you. Thank you for keeping us aware with information to make change. Thank you. Ifat, I'm saying hi to you. Nuggets of Truth from Daniel Okeo, who sounds like he's from Africa, maybe Nigeria. Tavers Little, Jeff. No forgiveness needed, sir. Preach it. Oh, thank you very much. Troy, Bridget, women in rural America at risk. Yes, I'm going to do a whole piece again on rural America, which is mostly Caucasian. Rural poverty is mostly white poverty. There is black poverty, of course, in the Black Belt and in the southern states. But I just think that we leave out our struggling white brothers and sisters, and then they feel that we are against them. Do you know, by the way, the number one group dying early are uneducated white men? High school educated white men are dying faster than anybody else. It's the depression, and it's what Donald Trump is feeding on. Joint Entrepreneurship, Economics, and Finance. That's Annette Holmes. Thanks for the real color. And so, yeah, green, that's the real color. If any of you guys who missed it earlier, I said that the color is not white, black, red, brown, or yellow. The color is green. The new movement's in the suites. It's not the streets, right? So there's a time for marching and all that stuff. We've been doing this for 50 or 60 years. We need to upgrade software, upgrade the software of the black community. And it's not about, it's not about pushing that aside. There's a place for that. But not everything is a protest. Sometimes things are about progress and about prosperity and about hitting somebody with your wallet, not hitting them with a brick. And my Jewish friends don't complain. They just own every dang old thing. And so we have got to upgrade our software. Stop getting angry, stop getting mad, success is the greatest reward, get even, and then bring your neighborhoods up. And read How the Pork is at Capitalism, somebody just said, I think Bridget said that. So I don't want to prolong this. I'm going to do another piece on entrepreneurship where I give very specific stories. Robert Rodriguez, I really like the energy and the way that you are sparking that much needed dialogue. Thank you. Ikono Hite, just found out one of your videos the other day. Been soaking up the knowledge. Thank you. Dion Fuchs, let's keep this movement going. The Civil Rights Movement, absolutely. Please like this video. Please share it with others. Please like the series, the Civil Rights Straight Talk series. And like the page and join the movement. And never give up, folks. I know I'm not doing a striptease. I'm coming at you straight and no chaser. Every now and then people will send me cool t-shirts. My assistant, Sir James Buchanan, gave me another cool t-shirt. I am the Black Wall Street. So look, we've been making dumb sexy for too long. We've dumbed down and celebrated it. And I want to make smart sexy again. It takes 20 years to change a culture. In the last 20 years, we've dumbed down, celebrated, and make dumb sexy. Yo, 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 what's up, what's up, what's up? No, that ain't, well, I don't even know what you're saying. I want to make smart sexy again. I want to be unbought and unbossed. I want us to walk in a room and nobody says but. Or nobody says I love you but. Or I'm going to invest in your business but. Or I really like John Bryant but. Or I respect what you're doing but. No, I don't want a but. I want to come into a room and demand that we get a level playing field. That's the way I've lived my life. It's paid off for me. I'm from Compton, California, in South Central LA. I am an entrepreneur. I am the Black Wall Street. But I'm also not talking about some black economy. Let me make that clear. The economy is everybody. You don't want just black customers, right? If you want to support black entrepreneurs or give scholarships to black people, I mean, everybody does that. If you're Jewish, my Jewish friends support Jewish schools. Hey, all that's cool. If you're Asian, you might, if you're Chinese, you might support Chinese schools with your wealth that you created. But you want every customer to walk in your door to be your customer. All this, you want green. You want every person possible. You can't be black for a living. You got to be a great entrepreneur and a great business person who happens to be black. Let's not come, Barack Obama's not a black president. He's a great president who happens to be black. And yeah, some people will disagree with that, but we've never liked a president when they're president. We liked them before they're president. We liked them after they're president, never when they're president. So get over it. He is cool. All right, I'm done. Be unbought, be unbossed. Take your life back. Get the skills you need to become an entrepreneur, become financially literate, sit down with your children, have them read a book on financial literacy with you. Have a weekly little financial literacy or economic meeting at the dinner table. The lights don't come on by themselves. The phone bill don't pay for itself. The gas in the car don't work by itself. Even the person who takes care of the kids, the housekeeper, they get paid, right? Everything you do from the time you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night is an economic situation. And we need to make sure our kids understand it and they have the tools they need so no one's taking advantage of them. And then we need to give them a reason to go to school, which is aspiration, and not just getting a job, but creating one. This was a sort of shot over the bow piece on entrepreneurship. With your permission, I'm going to keep going deeper and get into very specific examples and break it down. You tell me whether you like that idea or not. Okay. Aim high, Lee Hogue. Keep putting your books on Audible. I'm listening to Love Leadership. Okay, great. Thank you. Let me know what you think. Krisha Muhammad. Yes, I'm 58 years old and been in business for 40 years. Love that. It was somebody here earlier that said they were actually one of the 1.4% of black farmers. There's much respect for that. Okay, I feel like I'm getting a little long in the tooth here, so I hope this has been helpful. Be unbought, be unbossed. Be positive, be aspirational. Don't let anybody tell you what you cannot do it. Over it, around it, through it. You want to get to it. Here's the entrepreneurship's creed. An entrepreneur works 18 hours a day to keep from getting a job. And they have a theory about success. Success is going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. Never give up, never give in. Love you. Peace out. This is the Civil Rights Straight Talk series. I'll respond to every comment offline. Peace.